dry. Do you know I'm looking? And I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along.
Hello guys, welcome back to Being Mrs. Fraser. As you can tell, we have a little bit of a living room makeover for you guys today. I'm sharing a little bit of what the living room looked like before, so you guys can have a kind of an idea. I've been wanting to add some warmth to the room. I know you guys have probably heard me talk about this in other videos, so we're gonna go ahead and do that today. First and foremost, we're starting with a coffee table. I have been wanting this style of coffee table for so long. Our current coffee table is just, it's cute, it works, it's nice because it holds blankets and stuff like that, but it just isn't working out. It's just too small, and it's not really my style anymore. When we moved to Florida just about 2 years ago, I stuck with kind of the farmhouse theme, moving away from like the buffalo plaid or buffalo check decor, but still kind of sticking with more of the rustic farmhouse items, hence the old coffee table. So I decided that I no longer wanted that, and I have been on the hunt for this certain type of coffee table, and everything I keep finding is hundreds of dollars, if not above $1,000, $2,000. So I'm like, okay, well, your girl can't handle that. That is not the price I want to pay for some furniture. So I've been searching on Facebook Marketplace and, you know, all the thrift stores and stuff, and everything I keep finding there, people still want $100, $200, $300 for their items, and a lot of it's like pressed wood, you know, the new age furniture stuff. So and again, it just wasn't worth it to me, so I got on Pinterest and I found quite a few Pinterest boards actually that had the style that I was looking for, the style of coffee table that I was looking for. And so I actually came across the Sassy Barn. She's on Instagram, and she actually, I think hers is almost 2 years old, but I used her plans and her advice and everything to create this fun coffee table. So basically we went to Lowe's. My husband had a few days off, so I enlisted his help. We went over to Lowe's, picked up some wood, and now I'm just working on cutting all the boards down to size. It's been a crazy ride, I'll tell you what. I did mess some things up, which you will see later on in the video, so I hope you will stick to it. I know it's a long one, but I hope you stay tuned until the end and see everything, how everything turns out.
All your million mistakes, you don't need to hide. Closer so that we can be together. Everything that has been don't matter no more. We've burned it. All those whirlwinds can't touch us no more. We've earned it. We've earned it. Perfect lips got me rushing, panning. I'm so lit, like lilies you open. The fragrance goes to my head, my darling. I get everything that has been don't matter no more. We've burned it.
Alrighty, so I have all the pieces cut. The bread siding or breadboard siding, basically the top pieces. These are for the center of the top, and then these would be for the edges. And then I have all the skirting for the top and the bottom. I will be cutting the other boards, the 1x6s, but those will be for the like bottom shelf of the table, and those will be cut after we get everything done so I can measure so they are measured correctly. So next up, we're going to go ahead and do some pocket screws. Now, I've never done this before, but we did pick up the Kreg jig from Lowe's. This was $39. You can get one that's a little bit fancier, but it's like $150. So we went down quite a bit, and basically you just clamp this on, you set it where it needs to set. It's actually really nifty, you guys. So it comes with this little handy dandy tool you see here that you sit on the edge of the board to see like the thickness, and then these guides will tell you where you need to put these spacers, and then also where on your drill bit that you need to put like the depth of it. So it literally just, you take this, unscrew this little thing to move this up and down, set it where you need it, and basically just drill in there, and it drills the little pocket holes, and I guess away we go. So we're kind of learning together. I've never done this, Fred's never done this, so let's see if we can even do this or not.
Happy at the time, can't remember what it felt like. We used to be so strong. That picture perfect sky now, it looks so gray and cold. We've been laying here since 4 a.m. and you haven't said a word to me. Silent treatment, is this what it feels like when your heart is aching, when it bleeds? If it's over, just say it out loud. Say those words, go ahead, just shout it out. Just be honest, be a man right now. Say it's over, if it's over. Do you remember when we went to Paris in July? Got stuck out in the rain, but we danced around and didn't mind it. So young and reckless, baby, you and I fit.
So this tool definitely was super easy to use. You guys, I kept telling Fred, I was like, I wish we would have got this tool a long time ago. This would have made the fireplace project, the girls' library wall project, like the little bench and stuff, it would have made things so much simpler if we would have just spent the $40 then. But you know what? I'm glad we did now. The projects are getting less and less, but I know we will still use it because I know there will be future projects to have. And again, I know we'll still use this, and it was well worth the $40. I can't say that it would be worth the $150 that the bigger one is, but if you guys are, if you get into your own furniture making and, I don't know, make it a job or something, maybe the $151 or the $150 one would be more your speed. But I will say, you're going to see here in a second, Fred actually stopped using the clip. Your girl had a hard time squeezing that clip. My husband's hands are way stronger than mine, and he was doing it a lot easier. But then he got tired of using the clip or the clamp, and he started just holding the little piece down. I do not recommend this at all. Please do not do this if you decide to make anything on your own and use the Kreg jig, because some of the little pocket areas were not perfectly straight. Some of them were not that deep. There was just some issues, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm gonna recommend, if you do this yourself, use a clamp, hold the tool down, don't just hold it yourself. Definitely, highly recommend you use a clamp when using this tool. And don't worry, guys, also, anything in today's project that I can link, I will definitely link it down below for you guys. I will link the plans from the Sassy Barn down below in the description for you if you guys are interested. I love sharing these projects with you guys because, you know, I used to be so intimidated, and even still, like before we even started this project, I was like, okay, I can do this. I know I can do this. I was grateful that my husband actually ended up being home so he could help me. I got super intimidated though before we even started, and I'm like, okay, maybe I can't do this. Maybe this is going to be too much. And I started doubting myself. And again, I'm glad my husband was home because he definitely helped me along with everything. I could have probably done it without him, but I am so super grateful that he was here to help, to walk me through things, to get me out of my own head. Yeah, so I don't want you guys to ever, you know, I try to tell you these things because I don't want you guys to ever feel like you cannot do these projects. If you are looking for something like this and you just can't find it, because like I said, you know, people were asking $200-$300 for their used coffee tables that weren't even real wood, or it was like that pressed wood, and this entire project cost $250. It literally under $300, and I bought two new tools, so $100 of this project was tools. So you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise. Nothing is as hard as it looks. I have faith in you guys, so that's a lot of why I share a lot of these projects. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead, finish up these pocket screws, and just keep moving along on this coffee table.
Even though you wear it well, lower down the bridge and let me in, will you? You'll never get to know me from within, will you?
Morning comes and night messed up again, 'cause we're doing everything wrong. I don't know and I don't understand. When we fight somehow we always make up, threatened by a breakup. Is this how we're gonna fade it out? 'Cause we are the way we are, we'll never change. Yes, we've been here before. 'Cause we scream, fight, hate, cry, no one's ever backing down. Yeah, we do it, everything wrong. Yeah, we ruin everything. When we push, slam, through.
So these legs I actually found on Amazon. I think they were like four for $60 or $70 for 4 of them, which is a lot cheaper than most of your leg companies. I'll definitely make sure that it is linked down in the description for you guys if you guys are interested in finding these.
Hearts are open wide, but when we hate, it's like a big explosion, shaking our devotion. Are we ever gonna figure out how to be without defeating ourselves? It's going on too long. 'Cause we scream, fight, hate, cry, no one's ever backing down. Yeah, we do it, everything wrong. Yeah, we ruin everything. When we push, slam, through, and we hurt
are basically attaching the skirting, and I kind of measured it. If I remember correctly, the plans were about a 1/4 inch or so in from the edge on these legs. But I ended up doing a 1/2 inch, and you're seeing me measure on every single one of these, and I actually didn't need to. But that is why, you know, the old saying, measure twice, cut once type situation. You know, I measured here, and then we started putting it together, and then I found out that I didn't need to measure everything that I did, so we remeasured, got everything where it was supposed to be. As you see, I'm remeasuring here because I did the wrong side, but yeah, so anyway, I guess that's another grateful thing that I had somebody else here to tell me, hey, you're gonna put that on wrong, so pay attention to what you're doing. But you know, two heads are better than one, I think is the other saying. I don't know, I love sayings, you guys, different things like that. But yeah, so we're just gonna move along, getting the skirting attached to the legs. I did do both the top and the bottom skirting, and then you will see that I made an oopsies. So it wasn't my oopsies. We're gonna blame this one on Fred. So, but it's okay. It all worked out. But I just also, that's another thing I like to share in my videos. Part of keeping everything real, because I'm very, very much into making sure that my videos are as real as possible. But you know, people make mistakes, and that's okay, because you can totally easily fix it. This is one of, here coming up in a second, you'll see it, but basically we started putting the bottom on before we put the top on, and we needed to put the top on before we put the bottom on. You know what I mean? Are you following? But I just like to share our mistakes, because, you know, we are human. Accidents happen, and so yeah, I just kind of like to share those things. Everybody makes mistakes, but thankfully this is wood. It's easily fixable. It wasn't a huge mistake. We just, you know, kind of missed a step more than anything. So but it was all fixable, and everything turned out okay. So I do have to say, though, I just love the way this table turns out. Oh, also, I wanted to add to these table legs. So I know I already said that I got them off of Amazon. I actually, so the directions actually had a link for another company that had some table legs basically identical to these, but they were like $300. I was like, oh man, we're not spending $300 on legs. So I was so thankful that I was able to find these legs on Amazon. I literally just Googled table legs. I actually, baluster, I think is the correct term. But I just Googled baluster spindles, baluster legs, table legs, coffee table legs. And I finally came up with these. They were like in the little shopping section, and you know, like I said, they're from Amazon. So if you are interested in them, I will definitely link them for you guys. I do want to let you know that I do get a little bit of a kickback when you use my link on Amazon. It is not at any extra cost to you guys, but I do get a little bit of a kickback off of the things you purchase off of my Amazon storefront. So anyway, that's going in to say you don't have to purchase these. You can definitely find something that you like at Lowe's, Home Depot, anywhere online. If you can make your own, that would be really cool and save you even more money. So anyway, let's go ahead and finish getting these skirts put on. I will say that these pocket holes are really coming into handy, having to attach these pieces of wood to the legs. It just makes the world of difference. So this is the part that I was telling you about where we started putting the bottom on. You know, I'm just kind of standing there more for like moral support than anything, supervising, if you will, as we women do very well. But I'm like, you know, he's starting to put the bottom on, and something just like dawns on me, and I'm like, wait a minute, weren't we supposed to put the top on first before we do the bottom? And we were like, oh man, what are we gonna do? Like, I see right there, like I literally noticed it, and I'm like, oh, dang it. And we were trying to figure it out. I had forgot to even put some pocket holes to attach the skirts to the top. And yeah, it was a whole ordeal, you guys. We were like, what the heck did we do? Why did we forget to do this? So thankfully he had only put on a couple of pieces of the bottom shelf, I guess, if you will, and so they were super easy to take off, and we got it all fixed and taken care of and got the top attached without any issues, and then we were able to finish up the bottom. Also, a quick tip while I'm thinking about it, make sure you wear eye protection. I definitely got dust in my eye. That was not fun. But the tip that I actually came here to say is when you are picking out wood, try to find the flattest wood possible, because we didn't. Well, okay, so we did. However, the wood, for whatever reason, was wet, and so when it dried, it kind of warped it a little bit. So definitely make sure you are finding the flattest wood possible. I will say that it didn't really make a difference for me. The piece, I didn't want it like perfect, you know what I mean? I wanted it to still kind of be rustic. You can't necessarily tell that it's handmade, in my opinion, and it's not terribly noticeable unless you go sit like a big board or something, or like maybe a plate in the middle of the table. Then you notice that the top is some of the boards are a little bit off. But overall, just double check your wood when you're getting it from your lumber yard.
Emotions running dry. I say the things you never dare do. You always so confused. You don't love me and I don't love you.
Alrighty guys, so as you can tell, we are all done here. I love how this turned out. It looks really good. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting, but I didn't change the plans at all that I had found on Pinterest, so it might be a little big, but you know what? We're a big family. The living room's smaller, but it is what it is. It's okay. I do want to go ahead and start sanding it down so we can get it stained, because as you can see, there's like writing on it. There's like a sticker over there and stuff like that, and just to get it smooth. I did pick up the Craftsman orbital sander here. My husband, all his tools are Craftsman, so we already had a battery because the tool does not come with a battery, but he already had a battery, so we did go ahead and pick up the orbital sander. It does come with some different sanding paper sheets here, but I also bought the variety pack, because when you're staining something, you want to start from the roughest down to the smooth, like lightest, I guess, something that'll give it a very, very, very smooth texture. So that way too, it'll smooth out most imperfections, I should say. I don't want to smooth out all the imperfections because I kind of like the rustic concept of it. But we're gonna go ahead and just start with 80 grit and then move our way down. Will I use the 320? I'm not 100% sure on that, but we're gonna go ahead, see how this baby works, and get to sanding. I'm gonna sand everything. I probably won't sand the legs because those come pre-sanded, but everything else will get a good sanding before I go ahead and stain it. Let me grab. So the stains I'm using, I am using which one is this? This one is Driftwood, and then the Minwax Early American. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of mix them together with I got little stain pads, you guys will see here in a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of dip and then rub it on and see what happens. I think it'll be really pretty. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to sanding because I am so excited to get this thing done and in the house so I can see how it looks.
I see misery everywhere, it's getting to me. I cry, but they don't care. Oh, I'm getting lost in the commotion and the sound is way too loud. 'Cause I'm not the city girl I thought I was. This town is bigger than the ocean, yet too small to fit the crowd. 'Cause I'm not the city girl I thought I was. No, I'm not a city girl. No. Oh, I'm getting lost in the commotion and there's nowhere I can hide. 'Cause I'm not a city girl. Keep to yourself and I promise you'll be fine. That's what my mom said when I was moving out. If you need a hand, they will take two in return. Wish I could see her. I need a shoulder. 'Cause I don't know anybody here. It's awfully lonely. I smile, but they just stare. And I see misery.
So these are the pads that I picked up. Or the staining pads. I actually found these on Amazon. The person that I got the plan, I guess, from for the table, she actually recommended these. So like I said, I got them on Amazon. And so yeah, I'll leave them linked for you guys if you guys are interested. I'm hoping this is the easy way of doing this. We'll find out.
The commotion and there's nowhere I can hide. 'Cause I'm not a city girl. Cause I don't know anybody here, it's awfully lonely. I smile, but they just stare. And I see misery everywhere, it's getting to me. I cry, but they don't care. Oh, I'm getting lost in the commotion and the sound is way too loud.
So going back to sanding real quick, I do want to just say, make sure you sand the heck out of your piece. Sand, 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 and sand some more. I started with an 80 grit and I worked my way up to a 220 grit. I think I could have probably used like a 240, or there might be a 320. I feel like there's a 320. I know there's a 240. I could have worked my way up. I didn't. I stopped with the 220. I felt like it was smooth enough for me. So, you know, whatever works for you, but definitely make sure you just sand the heck out of your piece. I promise it will make all the difference, especially when it comes to cleaning, because if you leave it rough, the dust and stuff like that will have something to attach itself to. Not that, you know, dust doesn't already do that, but it just makes it a little bit easier to clean and wipe off if you get it as smooth as possible. And then also moving on to the staining process, I absolutely loved those staining pads. I actually ended up finding some at Lowe's. That was a 4-pack for like $5, where these were a 2-pack for $4. And I think Lowe's has a 2-pack as well for $4. But definitely check your Lowe's or your Home Depot, whichever one you are using. I will link the ones for Amazon if that's your only way to access them, but they are a total game changer. I used to hate staining. I've used brushes, I've used rags, and I just not a fan. But these little sponges made this so easy to do. I was having a great time. I actually ended up deciding that I wanted to change out another piece of wood in the living room and stain that the same exact way that I'm staining this table. One, I wanted to make the woods kind of more cohesive and kind of give the area some warmth, which you will see here in a little bit what wood I'm talking about. But I don't know. It just world of difference using these little sponge pad things. I don't even know what they're called, but it was so much easier. Also, you're seeing that I'm using teak wood and Early American, both from Minwax. They are an oil-based stain. Oil-based is much easier to work with, in my opinion. It is far more forgiving than your water-based stains. Water-based stains do dry a lot faster, but they are far less forgiving, where the oil-based kind of sits on the surface a little bit longer, and so you have more time to work with it and not have drip marks or anything like that. So if you don't like a stain color, definitely pick up a couple different colors and mix them. I'm gonna apologize if you guys can hear that plane going over my house. Dang it. It is beautiful outside, so the windows are open, and we are like by an airport, and it is constant all the time. So I apologize for that. But anyway, make sure, what was I saying? If you don't like a color, try mixing a couple different colors. Like I said, I mixed teak wood, which is a very, what's the word? It's very green. I cannot think of the word at the moment. Darn it, I hate when that happens. But anyway, it's very green, and Early American is very warm. I love Early American, but it's a little bit more warm for my liking, so that's why the teak wood helps neutralize that warmth a little bit by adding that green into it. So also, when you're staining, try to go with the grain of the wood as best as possible. I mean, like I said, with the oil stains, you can kind of mix it up a little bit. They are very, very, very forgiving and kind of movable, but definitely while you're staining, try to go with the grain as much as possible.
They don't make haste because they know what's coming. We try to wash away our broken years, but it's so hard in the cold summer. Ooh.
Alrighty guys, so it looks like we are done here staining. Now I still need to add a poly to it, but we gotta let this stain. I think it takes about 2 hours or so. We're gonna let it sit out here in the Florida sun, so hopefully it doesn't take near as long. But I'm gonna have to get some poly. I grabbed the wrong poly. I grabbed a water based instead of an oil based, and since I do have the oil based stain, I want to use an oil-based poly. So what do you guys think? Are you liking the color? I liked mixing those two, so if you ever find a color that you're not quite sure on, try mixing it with another one. So I really like the way this one turned out. It's still warm without being way too rich in color. It's got a very nice neutral warm base, I guess, stain color to it. So that's what I liked about using the two different colors, though, because the teak wood is super green, and the other one, I cannot think of the name of it. I think American something or other. Anyway, it's very rich and warm. So using the two kind of help neutralize each other out. If you look at a color wheel, anything like that, you know, green helps neutralize red, blue helps neutralize orange. So it kind of helps just neutral that warm out. But anyway, like I said, we're going to go ahead and let it dry up and see what we get.
You still mine, you still mine. In the cold summer, nothing seems like it should. In the cold summer, nothing seems.
Alrighty, so now we are moving inside while I let the stain kind of dry up. This is actually the next day. I bought water-based poly, and you cannot put water-based poly on freshly oil stained. Like, you have to wait like a full 48 hours for that oil to dry, the oil stain, before you can use a water-based poly. And I bought the water-based poly on accident, but when I went back to the store, I noticed that I couldn't even get an oil-based poly in the matte finish, and that's what I wanted, was a matte finish. So I stuck with the water-based one. But anyway, so as you're seeing here, I am taking off the top of my IKEA cabinets. I actually, when I initially saw these IKEA cabinets on Pinterest before we even moved here, I actually bought these in Kansas City, and we brought these with us when we moved specifically for this spot. I knew I wanted them there, but when I initially saw them on Pinterest, I saw them with a really cool, like with a stained board on top, and initially I used the board that you just saw me remove, but the stain was so dark, it was almost like black, and I really didn't want it that dark. I felt like it was just too cool of a piece, and this space needed warmth so bad. I've been saying that in my videos for a while, so if you are not new, you have heard me complain about this, but it definitely needed some warmth added to this space. And so I also decided that I wanted to do it the, I guess, correct way, if you will, and remove the top that came with the cabinets, and that way that the new piece of wood sits flush right on top of the cabinets. And I absolutely love it, so much better than the initial or the original way that I did it. But here's where I messed up. You guys, I wanted to cry. I am not even joking. I was so mad at myself. I measured the length, but I didn't measure the width of this wood. I was so mad at myself for that, because I sanded the crap out of that piece of wood. It was so smooth. Like, I was so mad at myself, you guys. And Fred was like, it's okay. We can go buy a new piece of wood. It's not a big deal. We can turn this piece of wood into like shelves or something fun. No worries. You guys, we have so much wood stacked up in our garage from projects that I have either wanted to do, left over from projects that I've been doing and working on. And so I just felt like so dumb. So when you're measuring, measure everything, not just the length, measure the width too. I can't believe I did that. Such a mistake on my part, and it cost me $10. $10 isn't necessarily a whole lot, but I'll tell you what, $10 would probably buy about 3 gallons of milk. $10, you know, could buy, it can buy almost 3 tanks of gas, or not tanks, 3 gallons of gas. I felt so stupid, you guys, but it's okay. You live, you learn, you move on, and that's what we did. So, as you saw, we brought in the coffee table, and it actually fit perfectly. I was so thankful for that, because I definitely thought it was going to be too big. But now you're seeing me remove the old piece of wood, and I'm bringing in the new piece of wood that we went out and bought, that I sanded down and stained it all over again. And thank you, Jesus, this one actually fit. And I absolutely love the way this turned out. So I ended up cutting it down. This is a 2 by I think it's was it a 2 by 10 by 8, if I remember correctly, and I cut it down to 7 foot in length because my cabinets, I think, if I remember, I forget, I think they're like 3 feet wide, something like that. Anyway, so I'm just removing those top shelves so I can actually pre-drill the holes into the wood. Pre-drilling the wood before you put a screw in it will help keep the wood from splitting. So I just wanted to go ahead and make sure that I did that. Fred thankfully set everything up for me because he did go back to work. So I am on my own at this point. And so he left his drill and then the screw gun here so I can get this piece of wood attached. And like I said, you guys, I absolutely love the way this turned out. It added the warmth that this space needed. You know, it made the cabinet the look that I was going for in the very beginning, and I'm just so thankful that we ended up taking this apart and getting it all put back together. So, also sorry for the brain shot, right up the nose there, guys. I don't even know, but anyway, and then I just used the original screws that came with this, that the original top was on. I just used those screws again because I knew they would fit, and I just screwed them right into the board. It's easy as that.
Be alright, be alright. Waiting down the line. So don't let your fear decide. That's how you break inside. You don't need to worry.
So another thing I've been talking about lately is finding candlesticks, and I was having a heck of a time trying to find candlesticks. I went to so many stores, and then your girl went to Hobby Lobby and totally even spaced to look at Hobby Lobby, and I know Hobby Lobby has candlesticks. I just forgot. So I ended up finding these ones on Amazon. They are beeswax candles. So basically they're supposed to be like dripless and smoke free. That doesn't really matter to me because I will never burn them. They are far too close to my wall and the canvas that is hanging on the wall to burn. So I just really wanted them for looks more than anything. I didn't want something just kind of plain Jane and smooth. I wanted something that had a little flair to it. So that's why I'm glad I came across these beeswax ones, because they have that little beeswax detail on them, which I thought was really cool. I ordered them in white, although you can see they are not a like bright stark white. They are definitely more of a creamy, maybe more ivory color, but that's okay. I actually really love how they turned out. So if you guys are interested in these, I think they do have the normal like beeswax color, and then they have this like white-ish color. They are on Amazon. Again, I will make sure that I will link as much as I can from today's video down in the description for you guys.
Thing that was on our mind. Talking to you gave me butterflies. Then you took my hand, said let's leave now. Don't wanna be shy. I will let my guard down. Don't wanna be shy.
And now moving on to the final project of today's makeover. Okay, so I absolutely love the basket wall look. I have seen so many pictures that people have that their basket wall is much fuller than mine was, and I will say that I initially bought another set of these basket wall arts. I actually got them from Thrift and Wicks on Etsy. She's also on Instagram. I absolutely love her. She is amazing, and she's just such a beautiful person. And she I ordered these from her initially for my bathroom makeover, and I opted not to put them in the bathroom. I decided that I wanted to put them out here in the living room. Quite honestly, I didn't think the feathers on this one set would hold up very well in the bathroom, so I was like, you know what, forget it. We're gonna make this wall a little bit fuller, give it the look that I really am looking for, that I've seen others do with the folder basket wall. And so I decided to use them out here on this wall. I will say that I was struggling a little bit on where to put each piece, but I figured it out, and right now I really love how it turned out. I didn't use all the pieces from the set that I ordered, so I might have to use those elsewhere in the house. If I could put her basket art on like all my walls, I would. I just absolutely love the designs that she comes up with. They're very custom. They're not, you can't just go to the store and buy them. They are definitely custom. If I remember correctly, she actually orders some of the pieces overseas, that from like small villages and stuff like that, so they are handmade, which I think is super cool. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and just get some baskets put up on the wall to add to the designs that I already had. Again, just adding more decor and a little bit more warmth to the area. And yeah, so my tip for decorating though, when you are decorating and you're putting stuff on the wall, take the time to step back, admire what you're doing, look at things, and then, continue on. Alrighty guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I did want to give you guys a reminder again of what the living room looked like before we added these few little upgrades or makeover, if you will. And anyway guys, now we are on to the new pieces, and I am absolutely in love. You guys will have to let me know what you think down in the comments. If you haven't already though, make sure you hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I hope you all stay happy, healthy, and safe, and we will see you in the next one. Bye guys.